Slide is visible to all of you? Yes or no? Am I audible to you?
Yes, sir, visible and audible also.
Okay. Now we'll see CNN architecture, popular CNN architecture. So a convolutional neural network is a specific kind of deep learning architecture. We have already seen that it's a kind of deep learning architecture, and many tech companies have developed active research group for exploring new architecture of CNN. And new architecture, it means like people are different research organization, they are trying to give new model that works well onto a ImageNet database. So there was a challenge called ImageNet challenge. ImageNet challenge is there, that started in year 2010, and it is known as ImageNet Large Scale Visual Recognition Challenge. So what happens? It's an open source database of more than 1.5 million images and 1000 class. 1000 class means there are images of a cat, dog, different kind of cat, dog, strawberry, with a common object. 1.5 million objects are there, and the competition started in 2010. And then the idea was to build up a model that can do this image classification most accurately. Okay, and most of the cases we go for top 5 error, means whatever is the top 5 prediction by your model, whatever is the actual input, it should lie in one of those 5. Okay, it's a top 5 error. So what is happening? ImageNet challenge started in 2010, and 2012 the participant, the AlexNet, won the competition. 2010 May, though, there was Silo Network who they won. 2012 May, you see, I will show you the diagram. Where is that? See, in 2010 it started with, so these people, these set of people, they got this, error rate of 28.2, 25.8, 16.4 in 2012. This when CNN started, and then error rate got reduced to 2.3 in 2017 by CNET, and human error rate is 5.1. Means if I show you 100 images, 100 different kind of images, 5 you may not, your eyes might think whether this is a ring or this is, but computer will have only error of 2.3. So much, there was a significant improvement. See, CNN significantly improved from 25.8 to 60.4. So let's see this. So what happens actually is this. There was so the efficient algorithm came from 2010 onward for object detection, image detection through this ImageNet channel. Okay. So what happens? So there are several architects in the field of, the most common are LeNet. So let's read theory about this and then we'll see the model. So it was by Yann LeCun. Right now he is in Facebook or Google, I forgot. So Yann LeCun is like he gave this LeNet architecture, and that was used to read zip code and digit. And then the first CNN model was AlexNet, and it was given by these three gentlemen, and it was submitted to ImageNet Challenge 2012. And in top 5% error was 16% compared to runner-up of 26%. And network had a very similar architecture of LeNet, but a deeper and bigger. So more deeper is the network, more accuracy you get. Better is the classification, this one. Then you have a ZFNet. ZFNet won in 2013. Google won in 2014. And there was one more participant called who was the runner-up, VGGNet. Now, this GFNet was the big brother of AlexNet. It was having bigger network than AlexNet. And VGGNet lost but this was given by one professor and his graduate student. Okay, Andrew Gisselman and Karen. These two people from academics, they gave this model, and these in 2014, these two were the participants in 2014. GoogleNet was the winner, and accuracy was, he gave 6.7 and his error rate, and they were 7.3. Only marginally they could improve. They were efficient. They were taking less memory, less computation power. They were taking more. VGGNet was taking more. But the idea is, it was developed by Google, who is having n number of people involved for this work only. Okay, and they have n number of resources available to their end. So this was also very nicely appreciated, VGGNet, and VGNet has been extensively used also in many of the product, many of the camera and product VGNet people have used. So GoogleNet is, again, the idea is they have used the concept of average pooling. They have used concept of inception module. I will tell you what is inception module. And VGNet, they have tried to somehow, they have found a principled approach to design a convolutional neural network model for object detection. And I will tell you what is that principled approach. ResNet, again, it is given by Microsoft, and they have done very nicely. Now, what happens? Any model, what is the limitation of any model? So you cannot have hypothetically, see, more number of layers you have, more deeper is the network, more non-linearity it is, and better it is its learning. Okay. So if you are learning at a decision boundary, so after one hidden layer, you can learn this kind of non-linearity. But after 100 layer, you can learn any kind of non-linear boundary. You can learn any order non-linearity you can have, any order, this one. So what happens is, convolutional net architecture is, the bottleneck is memory. Many modern GPU have 346 GB of memory, with the best GPU having 12 GB of memory. And there are three major resources of memory to keep track of. So major resources of memory is, either you have to keep the activation gradient or some intermediate value. So but in the intermediate, whatever is the activation map you are getting after convolution, those has to be stored in memory, because that will be used for successive layer. It consumes memory. How do I calculate the memory requirement of your algorithm? So you have the number of activation you have. Each activation cell you multiply by 4 byte if they are holding this one, and you see how your model will fit onto a GPU. Convolution, you know very well what is convolution. Okay, so this is the chain. It started, these were the shallow net, and then 8 layer 16.4. This was LXNet, and then ZFNet. They have somehow tweaked the filter size, pooling size, stride, and they have got better error rate was less, 11.7%, with the same 8 layers. And then these two are VGG and GoogleNet in the same year. In the same year, they get the principled approach of designing a, see, these two was ad hoc. These two are ad hoc. They said, okay, one convolution, two pooling, one convolution pooling, some ad hoc mechanism they have thought of and they have designed. And if you ask them to scale up, scale down, it is very difficult. No engine in that. Ad hoc mode, they work. This LXNet, ZFNet. But VGG, it was a principled approach. They said, okay, we'll be using a filter of size 3x3 and a pool of size 2x2. It's fixed. And that will be repeated in a cross network. So once you have to pool it, so one conversion, you do filter by 3x3. Another conversion 3x3. It is not somewhere 5x5, somewhere 7x7. You don't have to tweak those parameters. It is fixed. And they found that if you have fixed size 3x3, it works well. What 7x7 filter is doing, you can do with 3x3 stacked in 3 position. And you get more non-linearity also. You get better result also. So deeper is the network, more better performance it is. But if you have a very deep network, then there's a problem of vanishing gradient. There's a problem, the training rate is difficulty. GoogleNet is also organized, it is disciplined. You have, inception module is repeated again. You'll see that. Chalo. The first one is, the winner is LXNet. Before that, let me do LINET 5. In LINET 5, what was there is, there was 60 parameters. So you have this, LINET 5 was used only for, object digit recognition. So this was the input, 32x2 input. And then you have a feature map, 28x28, 6 filters. and each you have 28 cross 28, and there was 6 filter, and then again you use sampling, you do max pooling, and it is 14 cross 14, 14 cross 14, and 6 number of, as I've told you, pooling may the channel width will never reduce. Convolution, you do convolution with 16 filter, each of size 10 cross 10. And once you're doing convolution means then each filter is of size 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Each filter will be 10 cross 10 cross 6. And 16, why 16? Because there are 16 filters. Each filter will be this. And there's a feature map, you do pooling. So this is pooling. This is convolution, convolution, pooling. And then you got this. And then you have a C5, fully connected layer. No, this is a part, convolution part. And then fully connected part, and then output. Okay, this was given in 1998. Now LXNet. LXNet was given by these three gentlemen, and they obtained accuracy of 84.6%. The model significantly outperformed the second runner-up, and the top 5 error was 16% compared to 20. So it has crushed. In that year, 2012, it was a huge invention. It was a seminal invention of CNN. Okay, and what they did, they used GPU to train their model. They used 2 parallel models. Parallelly, these 2 were trained, and they were exchanging also. So there was no data parallelism. The model itself was executed on 2 GPU, and they were exchanging information with each other. Data parallelism is easy. Data parallelism is used almost everywhere in all of the model. Data parallelism is easy. Model exchanging information and then working together in 2 GPU, it was involved. It is really very painful. These 3 people have really done a lot of work. So LXNet architecture, if you see, the network is made of 5 convolution ReLU for non-linearity function, which they found to decrease the training time. So ReLU was used, it was faster than 10H function, and they also did image translation. So they did image augmentation also. Means the image, whatever they have got, they have augmented, and then they have added it in a training and use it. They've used dropout, stochastic gradient descent will be taught to you in your optimization lecture, and GPU. And for 5 to 6 days, it was trained. See this paper, LXNet paper, the citation as of now is 46,510. See, whatever this, gesture control, everything you owe to CNN, and it is very highly cited paper. And it is 46,510. And how you compare this, the Darwin paper, the on origin of species, it was published in 1859, its citation is 50,007. Shannon, he gave that universal, channel capacity formula, citation 16. So it is equally popular. This LXNet, how LXNet works. So in LXNet, you have a convolution. First, you do convolution of 11 cross 11, stride 4, 96 kernel. So 96 kernel, so this is 96. And 11 cross 11, so 227 minus 11, stride 4 is 55, 54 plus 1, 55. So this 55 cross 55. Now there's a max pooling, 3 by 3 of stride 2. In pooling, this width remains same, 96. And what will change? 55 minus 3 by stride of 2. So 55 minus 3 is 52 by 2 is 26 plus 1, 27. So convolution, pooling, convolution, pooling, convolution, 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 pooling, contour. You say, how you got this? It's trial and error method. They tried this way and it was working well on ImageNet data. So if you get any unknown data, how you put this convolution over pooling, it is an ad hoc mechanism. And how you say, how you get this 11 cross 11? Again, it's a trial and error mechanism. There is no engineering approach. He found, यहाँ 11 by 11 रखने से, यहाँ 5 by 5 with 256 kernel, 3 by 3 with 384 kernel, with 3 by 3 384 kernel, I found good result. That's it. No engineering. No. So only you have to use convolution, pooling, and done. And convolution is, again, it's a ReLU is a part of convolution. Nowhere I'm writing ReLU because ReLU is a part of, after every convolution, you do ReLU. Okay, so this is the LXNet. Now, what is the number of parameter? If you see then how to compute the number of parameter, So see, if I'm having 227 into 3, okay, what is the total number of parameter in this layer? So once I am converting this volume A1 to volume A2, how many parameters you have to learn? Dekho, there are 96 filters. There are 96 filters. Okay, and each filter is of size 96 filter, and each filter is of size 11 cross 11. Let me clean it. So in this layer, how many parameters you have to learn? So you should understand parameter, number of parameters. So I say the parameter you have to learn is same as weight you have to learn. Weight you have to learn. So you have a convolution 11 cross 11. So this, whatever the filter you have, this weight you have to learn. So how many filter is there? 11 cross 11 filter is there, and each filter, how many channel it will have? Channel it will have, whatever is the input channel, it should have 3, plus every filter will have 1 bias. You may repeat the same bias into number of filter 96. So in this layer, you have to learn this many parameters. Here in pooling, you don't have to learn any parameter. Only you have to see this dimension, 3 by 3, your hyperparameter. So 11 by 11 is the hyperparameter. It's not a learning parameter. Hyperparameter is what in the beforehand you tell, model won't learn. So 11 by 11 dimension, LXNet, those author, they have found 11 by 11 is giving good answer. It's ad hoc, total, one layer, trial and error. 3 by 3, 5 by 5, 9 by 9, 10 by 10, 11 by 11, 30 by, oh, 11 by 11 is good. It is giving good result, 11 by 11. 96 kernel, it's again ad hoc. Pooling mein you are not learning anything. Pooling mein aap kya karte ho? There's nothing to learn. The size 3 by 3 is hyperparameter. You put that, this one. So parameter is what your model learns. Hyperparameter is what you give to your model. You decide. Now here, what is the number of parameter here? Number of parameter here is 5 cross 5 filter. Now each filter, the channel will be same as input channel. How many channel? 96. 96 channel. And how many filters? How many filters are there? 256. And you do +1 because of this bias. This many parameters. So this way, wherever there is a convolution, those many parameters you have to learn. This many parameter you have to learn. Now second pool, output volume, you see this. Now, what is the number of parameter in this pooling? What is the number of parameter in this pooling? 0. No parameter you have to learn in pooling. Size of the this one is hyperparameter. Now, how many operations? So why I'm telling you this, because from here onward, whenever I will be comparing VGG with LXNet, there will be number of operation. How do I compute the number of operation? Okay. So one cell of this in this layer, let us calculate it here. So see, this was how you got this cell. So how many cells are here? How many cells are here? In this layer, how many cells are here? Cells are 96 into 55 into 55. These many cells are there. And each cell required computation of 11 cross 11. Each cell required computation of 11 cross 11 cross 3 filter. Am I right? Each cell, how you get this cell? How you get this cell? This cell was got after this filter was, one filter was multiplied. So in order to get this cell, how many multiplications are there? It is 11 cross 11 cross 3. 11 cross 11 cross 3. 11 cross 11 cross 3. Calculation. You do dot product. Okay, you got this. How many? So in first there, how many calculation happened? So how many of these cells are there? These many cells are there. 96 and different. And each cell required 11 cross 11 cross 3. Because of 11 cross 11 cross 3 is the filter. Why 3? Because whatever the image channel width, ये भी इसका channel उतना ही होगा. इतना. ठीक है? So what are you telling? 64. This is C out. 64 into 56 into 56 into 3 into 11 into 11. So this many calculation in layer 1. In layer 1, number of parameter was this, and number of calculation required is this. Based on this, a model is set to be more efficient if it is giving more accuracy with least number of operation and least number of parameter. Because see, if parameter is more, then you have to learn more. Learning more requires more data, more computation. Okay, and if there is less computation, means less operation is required, means with less computing power also you can work. Okay, so this is what in LX0 you do. This is the input. In convolution 1, there are 96 filter of 11 plus 11, stride 4, pad 0. Then max pool, normalization. You do normalization just to bring so that you don't have that unbalanced problem. Some of the values are very large, some of the values are very less. So larger value will dominate the smaller value, and it becomes, network becomes unstable, very difficult to converge and find this one. And then convolution, then max pool, norm, and you do this. And now, first to use ReLU, it used norm, not use anymore. Now you have batch normalization and you have different this one. Heavy data augmentation, you have dot point of this, SGT. So choosing filter size and stride and padding was based on trial and error mechanism. There is no, it's a totally ad hoc way. There is no science, there is no engine, there is no principle. So you see in convolution 1, so what is happening? Most of the memory, so what is this? Most of the memory you require in convolution. You see this, most of the memory you require in convolution. And but in fully connected layer where AI, the memory requirement is very less. Why here? Because here the number of activation map you have to store, the temporary value you have to store it. Am I right? You have to store it, because these temporary value are nothing but weight. And this weight, according to gradient descent, weight minus learning rate eta into gradient of loss, compute gradient of loss with respect to this one, or it is same as del L by del W. Del L by del W. How small change in weight affects the loss. So what happens? This weight is the activation map value, which you have to store everything. So all parameter is in convolution. See the filter size, so much filter you are putting, and it is and the maximum is in the beginning. You can see 227. The filter is of size 64 plus 64 into 3. That many you have to put. And the more number of all these parameters you have to memory, you have to require this one. Now what is happening? Computation, maximum number of parameters. So here parameter is less because of the parameter sharing. Here parameter is less because of parameter sharing. Here parameter is more because of the fully connected this one. And operation, maximum number of operation you require in convolution layer. You see in convolution 1, the maximum number of memory required. In FC, maximum parameter required, and floating point operation. Now in 2030, there was something called GFNet. It is improved hyperparameter over LXNet. So what GFNet did? In the beginning, he was not very aggressive. So if you are using a stride of 4, means you are reducing image by size of factor of 4. What he did, instead he used 7/7 stride 2. And for convolution 3, 4, 5, instead of using filter this, he used filter this. That's it. He did only these changes, and he got error from here to here. So it's a bigger network. It's a bigger network. ZFNet was the winner in 2013 ImageNet challenge competition. And how he won? He won because of these 2 changes. One, in the beginning, he is not very much aggressive. He is less aggressive. And once it is less aggressive, then computation is more. It is computationally expensive. And once you increase your filter, again, you require more. Convolution is expensive, and you require more computation. But it is this. Accuracy has improved. Now, the most interesting point came in 2014 when this VGG people, the professor and his student, they what they did, they thought of first time of the really deeper network. So this is the deeper, from 8 layer to 19 layer to 22 layer. See, shallow network means 2, 3, 4 layer, 2, 3 layer, 2 layer, 8 layer, 19 layer, 22 layer, 152, 152. If you increase layer, then your performance is getting improved. So more and more layer you add, better result you get. But that was not always the case actually. People have innovated this. Let us stick to this part. VGG and GoogleNet. What they did, VGG, accuracy of 92%. Can you believe? Accuracy of out of 100 image is having accuracy of 92%. So LXNet, you have input 11 plus 11 convocation of 96. This one 5 filter, 96 filter, 26 filter, pool. Here you do 3 cross 3, 3 cross 3. See, it's a more organized. It's more organized. VGG 16 have 16 weight layer, 19 have 19 weight layer. Okay. So what is happening? Here you have conversion pool, con pool, con pool, con pool. Okay. So stages in convolution and VGG, what we have, there are 5 stages. In stage 1, con pool, con pool. In stage 4, con pool for VGG 16 and con 4 con pool for VGT 19. So 6 and 9, there's one conversion here, one conversion more here in those 2 layers. One here in 4 and 5. So what is happening? Why use small filter? Why we are using small filter? Why not to have a bigger filter? Because it has been found that if you have an image, of size, height, width, C, and if you convolve with filter of size, five C, this is C, then you get the volume, you get a volume, some volume. So if you have a convolution of 5 cross 5 and C in, C out, C filter you are using, and again this is HW, same filter HW, again this is HW, means HW and same you are using same padding. Padding is done in such a way that this remains HW and this is C. Why C? Because C filters I'm using. In this scenario, what is the parameter you are learning? You tell. How many parameters? You have 5 25 C. 25 C is for one filter. How many filter you have? C filter, 25 C square. And how many operation you require? Each of them require how much? 25 C. And how many are here? How many cells are here? HWC. So 25 C square HW. If I change 5 by 5 with 3 by 3, then this 3 by 3, if you put this to be 3 by 3 C and this HW C, then you will find this will be 9 C square, 18 C square, and footing operation this. Instead of using one 5 by 5, if I use 2 3 by 3, then you are having more layer, means more linearity, faster it is, less computation you are requiring, less parameter you have to learn, and less computation you have to require. Then he said that instead of using 5 by 5, I use 2 3 by 3. And then what happens? Whatever is the receptive field of this, the same receptive field this also is having. I will show you. If I am having, if I am having 3, this one, say, let us imagine that there is depend upon this value will depend upon these 3. This value will depend upon these 3. Again, the receptive field of this is this. Again, this depends upon this depends on this. So see, effectively 7 by 7. So this cell, if I use 3, this one, 7 by 7. If I use single 7 by 7 filter and it is working on this, I get some pixel, the same value we get. So after 3 layers also, he is able to hold this information. Somehow this information is captured here. It's called receptive field. You get the same. So takeaway point is, instead of having one bigger filter, if I have smaller filter, more number of small filter, we get several advantages. First, receptive field remains same, means the information is not getting lost. Somehow I have this feature information. Second is, like, more number of layer adds more number of non-linearity. Non-linearity, how you get non-linearity? Because of ReLU. ReLU is non-linear function. More non-linear is getting added, more better is your model. More better is your model. It is better, but VGG 16 is humongous. It is humongous. See the memory requirement, huge, 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 huge memory requirement. So for one, this one training, if you move forward, 19.4, 30.6 gigaflot of operation is required. Here 0.7, this. So you get this much improvement in efficiency. This much improvement in efficiency. So VGG from 11.7 to 7.3, you got by that many the trade-off, that many this one competition. Okay. So the same year he lost, VGG lost by marginal this one, and they won. GoogleNet were not only efficient accuracy wise, they were efficient memory wise, floating point operation wise also. They did certain innovation, and GoogleNet, these days we have Inception 1, 2, 3, 4. So Inception is given by GoogleNet. These versions they are calling Inception model. So one of the innovation of GoogleNet is Inception module. So what is Inception module? So Inception module, I will tell you what is Inception module slide. So what happens in the beginning, they have this stemming part, and this Inception module repeated, and you have this softmax classifier. So one is the output you are getting from here, and you get two more output from intermediate layer. They said, if the innermost network are giving you good result, use it. Why to train it for even more deeper network? You might get a poor result. It happened actually because of this only ResNet, Microsoft ResNet came into existence because there was a problem with very deep network. So one by one we'll see the innovation. So what happens is like this way. 6.7% top 5, there were 22 layer, 5 million parameter, 12 times less than LXNet, and 27 times less than VGG 16. So in the same year, VGG competed with GoogleNet, and VGG, they were marginally less in accuracy, but the parameter that LXNet is learning is 27 times lesser than, it is too much. Okay, and one more invention, there is no fully connected layer. Why they have less number of parameters? Because most of the parameter lies in fully connected layer, and there is no fully connected layer here. They have average pooling. What is average pooling? I will see. We will see. So this is the aggressive. Here what we do, aggressively downsample the image from 24 cross 24 cross 3. So we got image from 24 cross 24 cross 3, and we moved it through convolution layer, max pool layer, con max pool, and we have reached to output 28 cross 28. So I started with 224 cross 224 cross 224 cross 3, and I did this. All these things here are getting done here. It's called stemming. We are aggressively reducing the size of the image. Why we are reducing the size of it? And at this point, we have image of size 28 cross 28. Why this? Because this will make our successive convolution. Because why? See, Google and everybody is using Google. They want to do this object detection mobile. So slowly people are, because see how much you will improve the accuracy. 7 to 6, 6 to 5, 4. You cannot make it better. If humans are 4% error rate is there, then how much you will improve? So people thought, let us improve in terms of reducing the number of learnable parameter and number of operation. So GoogleNet, the first invention was Inception module. So rather than earlier there was a hyperparameter, you have to in LXNet or ZFNet, you have to see what should be the size of the filter, what should be the size of pooling. Here they said size of the filter and pooling was your hyperparameter, and it was very troublesome. You have to tweak, trial and error. GoogleNet, he said, we'll do everything. We'll do 1 by 1, 3 by 3, 5 by 5, and 3 by 3 max pooling also. All these things will be done in parallel. Okay, that won't be our hyperparameter now. Okay, we have previous layer AL, and then I do 1 by 1 conversion, 3 by 3 conversion, 5 by 5 this, and whatever is the outcome of this, I concatenate this, and then I apply ReLU on this, and it was found. And you will ask, why this? Why not one more 5 by 5? Because single 5 by 5 worked well. It was giving good result. So again, the architecture is another one. You do experiment and you say that what is good or what is bad. You decide. Okay. Let us see how it works. So there's a problem. There's a problem of computation complexity with this. So they have done some more improvement. What is the problem? See, if the module 28 cross 256, I've told you that you aggressively reduce up to 28 cross 28. Okay, and you have 256. Here it is shown 192. Imagine that in our example, if you have 228, then calculation is very easy. If it is 28 cross 256, and I'm using 1 cross 1 combination with 128 there, okay, then let us see this one, 3 cross 3. With same padding, the output will be 128, 28 into 28, and the number of filter you're using is 128. With same padding, whatever is 28 cross 28, this is 28 cross 28, and 102 is here. Whatever is 28 cross 28, because what you are using, typical formula is N minus F plus 2P by stride plus 1. This was the formula, right? Now I'm telling that somehow you use padding in such a way that this 28 remains same. 28, 28, 28. And this dimension is governed by number of filter, 96, 96, and see, pool won't be reducing the channel width. ये 256 ही रहेगा. ये 28 by 28. Now what I do? How many parameters? You see how many parameters you have to learn? Oh my God, 854. All these parameter is in a single layer. In a single layer. In a single layer, you have that many, you know. So 121, 128. So 28. And how many parameters that you have to learn is this many. This many. And how many parameters you have to learn? 1 into 1 into 28. 3 into 3 into 192. How many operation you have to do? That is, I'm telling. So 128 into 128 into 128. Okay, 128. And then how many? This one. So number of operation you are doing is, go 28 into 128 is this. That many cell you will have. That many cell. Each cell you got after multiplying 1 into 1 into 256. So 1 into 1 into 256. Likewise, this. How many cell you have? How many the volume? 28 into 28 into 28 into 192. And each cell you got applying this filter 3 cross 3 of width 256 to get one cell. So this. Likewise, this. 854 million operation in these three conditions. So much. And what happened? Top, he compiled everything. Top 28 cross 28 and whatever is the width. So 128. So 28 cross 28. Earlier it was 128. You stack it. 128. You stack with 192. You stack it with 96. You stack it with 256. Whatever is that volume, this is this volume. You combine it, concatenation, and apply ReLU and this one, and it works well. Now, if I do, now what? Very expensive. What we can do is we use 1 by 1. So 1 by 1 convolution is used to reduce the size of, for example, if I do 32 filter, 1 by 1, if I multiply with 1 by 1 into 64, then what happens, 1 by 1 convolution will be multiplied with this 64, 1 by 1 into 64. So it will be, what is the outcome? Say this. 56 cross 56 into 64. 1 into 1 cross 64 is what? 64 is same. Okay. Then how much you get? You get 56 cross 56, but this is multiplied by all your this one. This gets shrink by 1. What happens? What happens? You know, all 1. So this is this. What happens if you multiply by 1 cross 1 cross C? So this is a 5 cross 5, 1 cross 1 cross C. What you do? You put this C here. This C, 1 cross 1 cross C. You multiply this, add all 1, you get 1 value. Okay, 1 by 1. It's a cuboid. 1 by 1 into C. You do, but you multiply, you get 1 value. Then again you put 1 by 1 into C. What is happening? You get everything 5 by 5. And your channel, whatever was C, it got shrink to 1. So what 1 by 1 conversion do? It will shrink your channel to C. And what is 32 here? Channel is 32. Yeah, here 32 number of filters is here. Okay. Now we'll see how it is improving. How it is improving. Dekho, everywhere you put 1 by 1 convolution. Okay, 1 by 1 convolution, 1 by 1 convolution, 1 by 1. Before 5 by 5 expansive operation, you put 1 by 1 convolution. And what will happen? Dekho, 1 by 1 convolution, what 1 by 1 convolution does? 1 by 1 convolution, ये 28 cos 28 into 256. अगर 1 by 1 convolution करते हैं तो what you will get? 28 cos 28. For first filter, 28 cos 28. For 64 filter, you will get 28 cos 28 into 64. Now 1 cross 1 into 64, if I take, it is 28 cos 28, 64. This. Now if on this I apply 3 cross 3, 192, I get 28 cos 28, 192. This. Now if you see the number of operation you are doing with is 358, just 1/3. Earlier it was 900 के लगभग था. देखो 900, and here it is 300. So with 1 by 1, so what we are doing is 1 by 1 conversion. The first innovation was inception module. In inception module, we are doing 1 by 1, 3 by 3, 5 by 5 filter multiplication. And why? Because we don't want this size of filter to be hyperparameter. Use all, and all these are parallel. All these are parallel. Parallelly, you are doing on GPU. Okay, so and what you do, 1 by 1 conversion is reducing the size of the channel to 1. And then your computation becomes easier. Your operation becomes easier, and information is not getting lost. Okay. Now this is the inception module. This inception module has been repeated everywhere. Okay. So this is the STEM network. Here you are very aggressively using your image size from 224 cross 224 cross 3. Say this is the height WC, H cross W cross C. Oh, I have not said this. This is the filter. How many filters? 64 filter. Okay. 64 filter of size 7 by 7. I am giving kernel 7 means 7 by 7. Kernel 3 means 3 by 3. Typically it is a square. This one. Stride 2, pad 3. Output is 112 cross 112. Check up to 64. Okay. Why 64? Because 64 filter. Why 64? Because 64 filter. Pooling में whatever is the input वही रहेगा. Pooling never reduce the channel size. बाकी जितना फिल्टर है उतना चैनल विड्थ होता है. ओके. Okay. So your STEM network, it aggressively reduces the size of image. What is the advantage of reducing the size of image? Advantage of reducing size of image is for computation, either it will be easy, faster. Your training will be faster. And then is the stacked inception module. Okay. Okay. And then the last one is the average pooling. Last one, what we do is, what happens? Earlier feature map में क्या होता था कि whatever is the activation feature map you got, you flatten it. Then you will get 5, 3, 3, 1, 5, 3, 3, 1, 5, 5, 3, 3, 1, 7, 7, 2, 7, 3, 1, 2, 7, 4, 6, 1, 2, 7. All right. Pehले this. What he said in the last layer, don't go for fully connected layer. Means all whatever you have feature map you are flattening it to a single one-dimensional vector, and then you are doing fully connected artificial neural network. You don't need this. What you do? What is the feature map? You average this, and this becomes one class. So if it's a softmax layer with 4 class output with 4 activation map, you take average value of this this, 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 this. So a global average pooling, it worked. And the problem you solve, abhi kya hai, aap isko flatten karke again you are giving to fully connected layer. All these weights, parameter, most of the parameter is in fully connected layer. Because in convolution layer, you are doing parameter sharing. The same weight, same filter is moved across all cell. So between different layers, the number of weight you are learning is very less. But in fully connected layer, the lot of weights are there. So it is you are saving parameter. Now you have you have three classifier. This background. In some of the cases, it was found why to have a deeper network if the smaller network is giving you good result. Why you are putting it? So if with smaller network you are getting good result, it is good. Or if the bigger network because the bigger network there's a problem of vanishing gradient and this one. Okay. So 22 layer of weights are there where you have to learn the weight, and so it is efficient inception module, and there are 22 layer, 12 times less parameter than LXNet, 27 times less parameter than BGG, and 6.7% of top wool. Now the revolution comes in ResNet. Now dramatically there was a revolution by ResNet. ResNet was given by Microsoft, and then you have shifted from 22 layer to 152 layer. There is one invention. Again, there was, I told you, one invention was here, CNN. Another invention was here when you are using a principal design approach. Principal design approach means you are telling that we'll use inception module or we'll use 3x3 filter. So these two are ad hoc. These two, design was ad hoc. Okay, means how many filter, what is the size of filter, how many pooling, what is the size of pooling, that are again ad hoc. Here also, how many filter, how many condition is ad hoc, because you do hit and type. But the size of a filter, size of a pooling is no more ad hoc. It is a principled approach. You have shifted from 22 layer to 152 layer. And see, higher is the layer, better is the performance. 2017, you saw it is 2.3. Human is 5.1. Even better than human. So there's a problem of vanishing gradient. I thought I'll be doing this very fastly, but the takeaway point is somehow you do weight adjustment, and weight adjustment you do that the updated weight is weight minus learning rate into delta of error, means loss with respect to weight, weight, or del L by del W. So how your loss changes with change in weight. Once you find this derivative, you multiply with learning rate, you minus this is the updated weight. Weight is what you learn in your this one. Now what happens if you del Z by this? If you have to calculate this depends upon del Z by A4. So this is the A4. So let us calculate this. This is Z1. This is Z1, A1. So each layer will have two parts. This is Z2, A2, Z3, A3, Z4, A4. So what is happening? You find a chain rule. If you have to find how the loss, see J is the loss, how loss is being affected with the change in weight W. If I have to calculate that how loss is getting affected by my weight W, W1, this will be done by how loss is getting affected, how this loss, let us assume that how loss is getting affected with respect to what? A4. Now A4 depends upon Z4. Now A4 depends upon Z4. What is Z4? So Z1 is weighted sum of, so what is this? This is a weight 1 and A0 is the value, input value. Here W2 and what is the output? A1. A1 is you got of the sigmoid function of Z1. I believe you know this. You have the weighted sum. W1 is the input. W1 is the weight you are learning. A0 is the input. So W1 into A0 plus B1 is Z1. So you got Z1. Z1 you applied a sigmoid function, you got A1. So A1 is the outcome. A1 gets multiplied with W2. See this is, and this A1 is again Z1. You can say this one. It should be A1. There's something wrong. It should be A1. It should be A1. I'm sorry. A1 into this. It should be A2 into this. It should be A3 into this. Okay, not Z1. No. He's right. Yeah, sorry. He's right. He's right. Let me see. Eraser. What is happening is this. This is the Z1. This is the Z1. This is the Z1. Now this is the Z1, which is the outcome of this. And this Z1 is multiplied with W2. With bias B2, you get Z2. Z2 is here. And Z1 is the outcome. So Z1 you multiply with this. Now, if I have to calculate this L with respect to this, then you backward propagate. This is the way to do. Delta Z4 depends upon what? Z4 depends upon A3. Z4 upon A3. What A3 depends on? A3 depends upon Z2, delta Z2. You keep on doing this. Eventually, it is like this way. So this is like A4 by Z4 is A4 is the activation function. Z4 is the parameter input. So this is like this way, this derivative. So what I mean is like if this derivative is very small, less than 1, if the derivative is less than 1, then multiplication of small derivative will be very small, very small. And then once we are updating this, this is very small, then change in weight will be very small. So this is says that in the beginning, this change in weight will be very small, so it won't learn very easily. It won't learn very easily. Okay. So the first solution is ReLU. You use ReLU. And there's one more solution called residual network. Residual network solves one more problem. We'll see what. Batch automation already have Microsoft ResNet. What was found is like this. He said, what was the problem? Why the ResNet was developed? ResNet was developed because of this. In ResNet, it was found that normal convention was if I increase the number of hidden layer, if I increase the number of hidden layer, then my accuracy should improve. But what happened if I follow the approach of Google Net, VGGNet, then if I am increasing the number of layer, okay, my test error is not improving. Even the smaller layer is giving better result. People thought that it might be giving. And why is the case? Because see, if you're training more, you should give better result. For example, what is happening? What was going wrong? People thought that because of, so once you are doing convolution, see after convolution, you have found this feature map or activation map. Now this activation map is capturing strong feature. If again you move to, there's no reason to move ahead to take your network even deep. 20 layer network was doing better. By adding more layer, you are getting poor result. All this strong feature was getting poor. Why poor? Because see, all this should have been identity. Identity function means all this learning, you should not learn anything. You made all weight 0. Means I'm not learning anything. And you should use it. But that was not the case. Your network was not converging to identity. So he said, we'll jump. He said, what we'll do? He said, residual function. If this is computing fx, then you can jump and you can x. By jumping, if you have got strong enough, you don't have to go for all convolution. If the smaller is giving you better result. See, up to here, you got good result. Then you keep on jumping. If jumping is giving good result, you jump it. No need of doing convolution. It's called residual network. So this is fx plus x. Now what happens? This fx you can equate to 0 by making your weight to 0. Means don't learn anything. So what is happening? See, you can, so plain layer, you have this. Okay. Now if you have to skip certain layer, then you add this skip net. You skip it. Okay. So if you don't want this, then you can skip 1, 2. If you don't want this many convolution, so if you want to simulate the behavior of BGG19, then you can have skip connection, and that will work well. We'll see what do I mean by this. Deep model have more representation power. The problem is optimization of deeper model harder to optimize. The first problem is if the deeper model harder to optimize. Okay. Solution is you have a skip net. So if the smaller network is giving good result, then you add skip net. How this is possible? Hx equals to x if fx equals to 0. So this hx equals to fx plus x, you have to make this 0, hx 0. And how you make 0? What is happening? In the image, you have filter, which is weight. So what is happening? Is a small portion of image, say image 1 So this is pixel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 9. So image 1 you multiply with filter 1 plus filter 1 matlab filter agar this is the filter. Okay, filter 1, filter 2, filter 3, dot, filter 9. So you multiply I1 F1, I2 F2. So what is you are doing? You are doing I transpose, small is transport into filter transport. So what is filter? Weight. You make all weight 0. Here whatever weight you are learning, make all this weight 0. Means you are not learning anything out of this. Once you are making weight 0, this fx will be 0. And then you are getting x. Why we are doing this? Means you go for, if the more layer is very difficult to optimize, not giving good result, you skip certain connection. Okay. So you skip this. You skip this. These are the skip connection possible. Okay. And rest other you use all 3 cross 3 512 filter, 512 filter, and you got very good result. Very good result. Okay. So total depth will be 18, 34, 50, 101, 152 tak it went. And then there are many optimization people did. He said, okay, we'll do batch normalization, we'll do ReLU after every, and just to reduce the parameter, I've told you 1 cross 1 convolution is used to reduce the parameter in a what do you call, reduce the number of chain in the image. So you can, rather than having 2 convolution, you can have 3. Before convolution you do 1 cross 1, 1 cross 1, and it is even better result you can get. So ResNet batch normalization, Xavier initialization is for weight initialization. If weight is not properly initialized, then it might lead you to gradient explosion. Vanishing and exploding gradient usme wo hota hai. And I am 100% sure that in optimization, that will be 2 slots. In tomorrow's lecture, it will be covered. And AGD plus momentum will be covered, learning rate and drop, this will be covered. These parts will be at least covered. So Xavier initialization, the term is like, how do I initialize weight so that my weight is from any unit size normal distribution? All values are between mean 0 and values are between 1, this one unit away. ResNet 18, ResNet 34, there are 2. So you see stem 1 convolution layer aggressively you do, and then you in stage 2 you do this block of 4 convolution of 64, this one channel 256 this, and error was 10.92, and gigaflop is 1.8, 1.6, and ResNet 34. You have 34. You know you are doing more convolution, more layer, and it gives better result. So more layer, less computation. So what happens if you have more? So what you are doing? If you have this, if you transform this into this, you are getting more layer. Is reduced, and you are getting better. So people have done all these 1 cross 1 convolution, batch normalization, dropout, all these things they have hit and tried, and it worked well. So first people tried, and then mathematically there are people who will prove that this works well because this is the maths. So what happens? ResNet swept first place in all of the completion. In all of the, there were different categories: detection, classification, localization. All of the categories they won everywhere. In ILSBRC also ResNet won. In COCO also they have different data set. They swept everywhere. They swept everywhere. And then first place in all 5 main track. And so what is happening? So you have inception 4, 5, all this here. Here the accuracy is improving. Top 1. This is the top 1 accuracy. Top 5 matlab ki whatever is the probability, this one, top 5 your model predicted. If your input is lying in one of the 5, it is correct. Top 1 may see the improvement. And the bubble size says the number of operation and number of parameter. So number of operation and parameter was more in VGG, VG19, ResNet. In this ResNet and 18, the number of parameters is even less. GoogleNet less. And why? If the number of parameter and operation requires less, then on your mobile also you can do image detection, real-time image detection. You have your car. You have seen that 3D picture of Google. You can see they have done this mapping. Very quickly you can do this image detection. Car number, very quickly. In your mobile, you put your mobile and it detects very nicely if you have good camera. Then there are SqueezeNet. It consists of 18 deep layer, this one, 1000, this one, and same accuracy for this one, 500 times smaller. Yes, rather than having one, you can have different number of connection. And then you have ShuffleNet. ShuffleNet is the best, very limited commercial budget, and then you can use for mobile. Then Efficient Network, again, they are for mobile. So these are all the acknowledgement. I have copied all these things from these people. Some of the images I might have missed, some that are again part of this one. Now I will halt for your question. If you have any question, you can ask me. Any question anybody is having, then you can ask me, or else I'm done from my side.
Hello,
And that,
hello. Dear participants, if you are having any question, you can ask from the sir. You raise your hand, I will unmute from here, and you can unmute from yourself so that you can speak directly to the sir. If you are having any question, you can also ask in the chat box also.
Chat box I will read. Okay. Chat box I will read.
Yes, there is one person, admin one. You can ask sir question. Please introduce yourself and you can ask your question from the sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, Arpana madam. Thank you for your this one. Who is asking? I'm not getting what is.
I'm audible, sir.
Yes, yes.
Myself, Archana Kadam from TCC. Sir, it's a very good demonstration you are given for image classification using CNN. My doubt is, sir, can CNN be used with time series data, and what is your observation of regarding the performance?
Time series data, actually time series data is a dependency. Here we are not. So see, in a image you have a spatial dimension. So in time series data, recurrent neural network is better than CNN. Recurrent neural network is better in than.
I'm actually interested with time series data.
Time series data you can use recurrent neural network, or you can use LSTM, binary LSTM. Those things also you can use.
Okay, so if data is in a one-dimensional with the frequency or a time domain, so
right.
So will CNN work with that, or you?
So that is what I'm telling you. See, working you can put any machine learning and deep learning is you put anything and you see how result is you're getting. But basically for time series data, using LSTM, binary LSTM, neural network, RIMA, all those things people are using. For image and object detection and all, people are using CNN.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
One, not to confuse you.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Anything?
Any more participants? If they want to ask question, they raise their hand. I unmute from here so that they can directly ask the question from the sir. You can also put your questions in the chat box also.
Okay, if there is no question, then again I would like to thank the organizers for having me. Thank you, sir, for calling me for this session. If you have any question, you can mail me. Participants, they can mail me also. If you have any question, then I will answer.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, it is done from my side. You have anything to say, then you can say.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Dr. Professor Tripathi, sir, for from NIT Raipur for speaking at 1 week Atal FDP organized by Rungta College of Engineering and Technology, Bhilai. And your presentation on the convolutional neural networks and its applications was very knowledgeable and was very well received by our participant. Thank you, sir. Thank you once again. I thank you, sir, for enriching our event with your presence. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
I request all the participants that tomorrow we will be having another speaker in another session. We will be continuing this FDP tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning. We will be joining you. I request each and everyone to join again tomorrow at 10 o'clock. We are having again one speaker with us tomorrow, and we will be hearing their knowledge also. Okay, thank you very much. We will meet again tomorrow. Thank you very much. Thank you all.